Hello everyone. Welcome to my bold and the beautiful gossip channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we dive into today's content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and show some love by giving this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers recap for Friday, November 8th uncovers that Steffi Forrester cautioned Carter Walton to quit attempting to be Trust Logan's deliverer and spotlight on his work. After Steffi stomped out, Edge Forrester concurred that they generally expected to focus on their own liabilities. In spite of the fact that Edge would have rather not discuss Trust any longer, Carter wouldn't let this go. Things got staggeringly tense as Carter pushed Edge to cause Steffi to apologize and fix this. Edge appeared to be outraged and taking care of Carter, yet Carter scrutinized their companionship and advised him that he was significant at the organization. When Edge took off, Carter was so irate he could scarcely relax. Our B&B expectations highlight Carter making some procedure refreshes soon, so remain tuned. At Brooke Logan's place, Trust conversed with Zend Forrester Dominguez about Carter's help for her line. Steffi at last appeared, so Zenda grumbled about how her choice was rebuffing him as well. After Zenda left, Steffi directed her concentration toward Trust and set out to accuse her for setting Zenda here. Since Steffi was persuaded Trust took action on John Finnegan, she emphasized that Trust's line was finished. At Bill Spencer's place, Katie Logan came by and asked how he was doing now that he was residing alone without Poppy Nozawa and Luna Nozawa. Despite the fact that Bill really wanted to consider Luna incidentally, he was centered around Will Spencer and expected some family time soon. When Katie left, Bill saw a letter had shown up from Luna, so he read how he was the man missing from her wrecked youth. Luna said she genuinely regretted what she did, yet she considered part Bill could comprehend since he'd likewise done things he lamented. In Luna's letter, she let Bill know that she thought often about him and truly required him. Then Poppy visited Luna in prison and conceded she didn't know she might at any point take a gander at her once more. In any case, Luna was as yet Poppy's girl, so Poppy needed to see her. Luna asked Poppy to accept that she was as yet her sweet young lady and that she some way or another lost every one of her detects. As indicated by Luna, something exchanged inside her cerebrum like in permanent madness, so she asked Poppy to excuse and trust her. Poppy recognized that she'd constantly adored Luna, however she stayed shocked over her violations and double crossings. Luna got some information about Bill on Friday's B&B episode, which prompted her understanding that Poppy's relationship with him was finished. That left Luna with a shrewd grin after Poppy withdrew, and when Luna got back to her cell, she kept sneering like she actually thought she got an opportunity with Bill. Back at Bill's chateau, he considered Luna's sincere words in the letter prior to glimmering back to a family embrace with her, as well as Poppy. Bill additionally recollected when Luna kissed him prior to consuming the letter and throwing it in the chimney. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Luna could cause more issues for Bill, not too far off, so remain tuned for any disturbing news to come. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Trust's improper in-claim, Carter's following stage when all else fizzles. The striking and the wonderful spoilers uncover that Trust Logan has some expect her future again on account of Carter Walton. Carter not set in stone than any time in recent memory when he said he planned to track down Edge Forrester and attempt to break through to him. Be that as it may, Trust may eventually get refreshes on some terrible news. Edge is hunkering down and supporting Steffi Forrester, so inspiring him to eagerly supersede his little girl may not be plausible. Carter indicated to Trust about debilitating all choices, however he was unclear about what might happen once he did that. Obviously, Carter has a plan B that could help Trust, so what's it will be? On the off chance that Carter can't persuade Steffi or Edge to take Trust back to Forrester manifestations, he might push Desire to document an unjust in-claim. Steffi's explanations behind terminating trust were private, so Carter might think this is the way to inspiring her to withdraw. Obviously, trust shouldn't have marched around in undergarments at work, so that could be an obstacle that surfaces assuming that Carter seeks after this point. You could contend that since trust wasn't in any event working, she had the right to get terminated for that by itself. In any case, Carter has a foundation as a legal counselor and realizes how to play lawful hardball. Maybe Carter could fabricate a case for trust and make Steffi the drawn-out antagonist of her story. It was Steffi who persuaded Thomas Forrester to leave for Paris, which left trust's line wallowing. Carter could cause it to seem like Steffi has been disrupting trust from the beginning and only sitting tight for a chance to dispose of her totally. Normally, the genuine objective here may be to persuade Edge to withdraw. On the off chance that Forrester is confronted with the chance of this claimed danger and a significant embarrassment, Edge could yield and supersede Steffi's choice, all things considered. Notwithstanding, Carter will up the ante for certain striking moves soon enough. In light of our B&B expectations, Steffi and Edge would do well to be prepared for more kickback. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Carter will take the necessary steps to get Trust's profession in the groove again, so remain tuned. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Hope's wrongful termination lawsuit. Carter's next step when all else fails. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Hope Logan has some hope for her future again thanks to Carter. Walton Carter was more determined than ever when he said he was going to find Ridge Forrester and try to get through to him. However, Hope may ultimately get updates on some bad news. Ridge is digging his heels in and supporting Steffi Forrester, so getting him to willingly override his daughter may not be a possibility. Carter hinted to Hope about exhausting all options, but he was vague about what would happen once he did that. It's clear that Carter has a backup plan that could benefit Hope, so what's it going to be? If Carter can't convince Steffi or Ridge to bring Hope back to Forrester Creations, he may push Hope to file a wrongful termination lawsuit. Steffi's reasons for firing Hope were personal, so Carter may think this is the path to getting her to back down. Of course, Hope shouldn't have been parading around in lingerie on the job, so that could be a hurdle that comes up if Carter pursues this angle. You could argue that since Hope wasn't even working, she deserved to get fired for that alone. Nevertheless, Carter has a background as a lawyer and knows how to play legal hardball. Perhaps Carter could build a case for Hope and make Steffi the long-term villain of her story. It was Steffi who convinced Thomas Forrester to leave for Paris, which left Hope's line floundering. Carter might make it seem like Steffi has been sabotaging Hope all along and just waiting for an opportunity to get rid of her completely. Naturally, the real goal here might be to convince Ridge to back down. If Forrester is faced with the possibility of this lawsuit threat and a major scandal, Ridge might relent and override Steffi's decision after all. Regardless, Carter will definitely raise the stakes with some bold moves soon enough. Based on our B&B predictions, Steffi and Ridge had better be ready for more backlash. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Carter will do whatever it takes to get Hope's career back on track, so stay tuned. In any case, Carter has a foundation as a legal counselor and realizes how to play lawful hardball. Maybe Carter could fabricate a case for trust and make Steffi the drawn-out antagonist of her story. It was Steffi who persuaded Thomas Forrester to leave for Paris, which left trust's line wallowing. Carter could cause it to seem like Steffi has been disrupting trust from the beginning and only sitting tight for a chance to dispose of her totally. Normally, the genuine objective here may be to persuade Edge to withdraw. On the off chance that Forrester is confronted with the chance of this claimed danger and a significant embarrassment, Edge could yield and supersede Steffi's choice, all things considered. Notwithstanding, Carter will up the ante for certain striking moves soon enough. In light of our B&B expectations, Steffi and Edge would do well to be prepared for more kickback. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Carter will take the necessary steps to get Trust's profession in the groove again, so remain tuned. The Bold and a Beautiful Thursday, November 7 recap. Steph's furious admonition for Carter, Eric vapor over trust destiny. The strong and the delightful spoilers recap for Thursday, November 7 uncovers that Trust, Logan, and Carter Walton concurred that the previous evening was mind-boggling. Despite the fact that Carter hated to tear himself away from Trust, he intended to go converse with Edge Forrester and inspire him to reestablish Trust's line. Carter said he needed to debilitate each choice and appeared to be obscure about what might occur, assuming that this plan fizzled. Trust was thankful to have Carter battling for her, so he promised to make this right and got another kiss for the street. At Forrester Manifestations, Eric Forrester plainly wasn't satisfied about Trust getting the boot and inquired as to whether Steffi Forrester made certain about this. Trust was family, taking everything into account, so he was agitated about this information and accepted Brooke Logan was as well. Edge recognized that Brooke was disturbed, yet he kept on supporting Steffi's decision. Steffi was unyielding about Trust violating limits by taking one more action on John Finnegan. In any case, Eric hurled an envelope down and said it shouldn't have worked out like this. Steffi wished Trust could find another man and avoid her significant other, however she behaved like expectation welcomed this result on herself. Eric felt it was inappropriate to go with corporate choices in view of individual complaints and said Trust terminating was private. All things considered, Steffi was determined that Trust knew the results and presently she needed to address the cost. After Eric left, Steffi made a forecast about Brooke turning on the waterworks and pressing all Eric's personal buttons. Carter at last showed up in the chief office with Edge and Steffi, so he sent off energetic protection of Trust. It was off base for Steffi to discard Trust and her line due to a misconception. Basically, that is the means by which Carter had an outlook on the circumstance. Steffi didn't have the foggiest idea what was the deal with Carter since he was conforming to Trust, yet she cautioned that he should have been exceptionally cautious. Carter contemplated whether he could talk his perspective on that off chance that he concurred with Steffi and Edge. Carter said Steffi couldn't bring her own competitions into the meeting room. He proposed it showed an absence of initiative and wouldn't permit it. At Brooke's place, Zend Forrester Dominguez reeled over what he'd missed while he was away. Steffi's choice to reassess Trust's line currently didn't check out to Zend. Brooke demanded it was private and that Trust had been exiled from Forrester Manifestations by and large. Katie Logan was there to uphold Brooke since she was additionally insulted over the result for Trust. When Zendi got refreshes on the Finn misconception, he could see the reason why Steffi could have a negative response. Be that as it may, Zendi likewise accepted Trust about it being a mishap and was annoyed about losing his job as expectation for the future's lead fashioner. Zendi felt that Steffi expected to set her own sentiments to the side and brought up that her decision would bring kickback. Trust appeared and concurred, yet she indicated that perhaps Trust wasn't lost, all things considered. When Trust uncovered that Carter was off attempting to break through to Edge, she trusted that he could stop what Steffi put into high gear. Back at Forrester Manifestations, Lainey and Tony played with Will Spencer in the plan office. In spite of the fact that Lainey attempted to talk Will into private time after work, Will was more keen on hyping Electra Forrester's ability once she strolled in. Notwithstanding Lainey's endeavors to make light of Electra as a novice, Will behaved like Electra was an old pro who was assisting Ivy Forrester with the gym's line. When Will was distant from everyone else with Electra, he needed to figure out more about her. Will commended Electra's magnificence and momentarily referenced the expectation circumstance prior to concluding it was best not to blabber. Will pushed for the account of Electra Forrester. He sought clarification on pressing issues and referenced a portion of her lovely highlights. Will could see that Electra was the sort of lady that had an effect, so they shared a few charming minutes together on Thursday's B&B episode. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Elektra and Will's heartfelt future appears to be brilliant. However, there's dependably show around the bend on the CBS cleanser. Hope was family as far as Eric was concerned, so he was upset about this news and assumed Brooke Logan was too. Rich acknowledged that Brooke wasn't happy, but he continued to support Steffi's choice. Steffi was adamant about Hope overstepping boundaries by making another move on John Finnegan. However, Eric slammed the folder down and said it shouldn't have come to this. Steffi wished Hope could find another man and stay away from her husband, but she acted like Hope brought this outcome on herself. Eric felt it was wrong to make corporate decisions based on personal grievances and said Hope's firing was personal. Even so, Steffi was adamant that Hope knew the consequences and now she had to pay the price. After Eric left, Steffi made a prediction about Brooke turning on the waterworks and pushing all Eric's emotional buttons. Carter eventually appeared in the CEO office with Ridge and Steffi, so he launched passionate defense of Hope. It was wrong for Steffi to throw away Hope and her line because of a misunderstanding. At least that's how Carter felt about the situation. Steffi didn't know what was going on with Carter since he was aligning himself with Hope, but she warned that he needed to be very careful. Carter wondered if he could only speak his opinion if he agreed with Steffi and Ridge. Here Carter said Steffi couldn't take her personal rivalries into the boardroom. He suggested it showed a lack of leadership and refused to allow it. At Brooke's place, Zen Forrester Dominguez reeled over what he'd missed while he was out of town. Steffi's decision to pull the plug on Hope's line now just didn't make sense to Zen. Brooke insisted it was personal and that Hope had been banished from Forrester Creations altogether. Katie Logan was there to back Brooke up since she was also outraged over the outcome for Hope. Once Zendy got updates on the Finn misunderstanding, he could see why Steffi might have a negative reaction. However, Zendy also believed Hope about it being an accident and was upset about losing his role as Hope for the future's lead designer. Zendy felt that Steffi needed to put her personal feelings aside and pointed out that her choice would bring backlash. Hope showed up and agreed, but she hinted that maybe Hope wasn't lost after all. Once Hope revealed that Carter was off trying to get through to Ridge, she hoped that he could stop what Steffi set in motion. Back at Forrester Creations, Lainey and Tony flirted with Will Spencer in the design office. Although Lainey tried to talk Will into private time after work, Will was more interested in playing up Elektra Forrester's talent once she walked in. Despite Lainey's efforts to downplay Elektra as a newbie, Will acted like Elektra was a seasoned pro who was helping Ivy Forrester with the jewelry line. Once Will was alone with Elektra, he wanted to find out more about her. Will complimented Elektra's beauty and briefly mentioned the Hope situation before deciding it was best not to gossip. As Will pushed for the story of Elektra Forrester, he asked questions and mentioned some of her beautiful features. Will could tell that Elektra was the kind of woman that made an impact, so they shared some cute moments together on Thursday's B&B episode. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Elektra and Will's romantic future seems bright, but there's always drama around the corner on the CBS soap. When Trust uncovered that Carter was off attempting to break through to Edge, she trusted that he could stop what Steffi put into high gear. Back at Forrester Manifestations, Lainey and Tony played with Will Spencer in the plant office. In spite of the fact that Lainey attempted to talk Will into private time after work, Will was more keen on hyping Elektra Forrester's ability once she strolled in. Notwithstanding Lainey's endeavors to make light of Elektra as a novice, Will behaved like Elektra was an old pro who was assisting Ivy Forrester with the gems line. When Will was distant from everyone else with Elektra, he needed to figure out more about her. Will commended Elektra's magnificence and momentarily referenced the expectation circumstance prior to concluding it was best not to blabber. As Will pushed for the account of Elektra Forrester, he sought clarification on pressing issues and referenced a portion of her lovely highlights. Will could see that Electra was the sort of lady that had an effect, so they shared a few charming minutes together on Thursday's B&B episode. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Electra and Will's heartfelt future appears to be brilliant. However, there's dependably show around the bend on the CBS cleans. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates.